All right, so those are our three panelists here. We're having a little bit of difficulty hearing each other. We don't have a lot of feedback, so we might see if we can get some more of our own voice in the stage one, just to make sure we can all hear each other, because Paul and Ari all the way down there, a little bit difficult. Okay, I think we're coming through a little bit better now here. Okay, so Max, let's start with you. Let's start at the most basic, at the most foundational level here. Let's talk about what this product is. Tell us, what is Foundations?
Yeah, so everyone is kind of on their own journey. Their own journey of magic, and getting all kinds of feedback about that from all. So Foundation is something that's for everyone, no matter where they are in that journey. So like, you've been playing Magic for 30 years, Foundations has cards for you. But also, if you're new to Magic, or if you're just getting into Magic, Foundations has all the things you need to become immersed into the game. And this is where we want to start, obviously, with Foundations being a starting point for newer players. And there is something that has specifically been tailored for that new player experience. We're talking like newbie players, the first time they're playing with Magic cards. Beginners, the very well made, I'm sure you will see, beginner box.
Come on, folks.
Yeah, so the beginner box is a product for people who are new to Magic as a Foundation. We've made a lot of different ways in which people can learn to play Magic over the years, right? Many of them are familiar with different kinds of circuits and so on and so forth. What we've done with the beginner box is first, done a lot to just improve kind of the basic tutorialization around Magic itself. The hardest thing that people experience when they're learning how Magic works is just how to cast spells, how to attack, and how all of that works. We've done entirely new research around the best way to teach all of these to different folks. Like, for example, when a lot of people are learning to play, they're like, oh, I tap mana and play my creature. It's like, yeah, that's how it works. And then they're like, okay, and the next shot I'll go to attack, I'll pay for my creature again. It's like, no, actually, like, you have no installment plan. Right, absolutely. You pay once and you're good to go. And so we've done a lot to improve both the actual tutorialization around that, but then also done a lot to sort of be like, hey,
so I gotta hold this stupid thing. All right, working on it.
Create products such that you don't need, like the idea of extra stuff is annoying and hard to teach with, but actually, like, as soon as you go play Magic with anybody, you're going to use tokens, you're going to use counters, you're going to use card checks.
It seems that a lot of these beginner products are sort of avoided in the past. It's like, well, we'll get to that, but that actually ended up being a bit of a roadblock for new players eventually.
Right, yeah, and that's one of the other things we've done. It's like, the cards that are useful for teaching people are in the beginner box, and therefore they don't need to be in the main Foundation set. And that's another, like, a departure from previous sets like this, where instead of like, oh, we need this card to be a teaching tool, and therefore you have to put it in your main set, and if you've been playing for a long time, you don't want anything to do with it, those cards are only in the beginner box, where we need them to teach players, but they're not in the main set where people just like kind of act.
Right, so we're going to talk about boosters and the main set a little bit later on, but the cards that we're looking at now, these beginner box cards, these aren't in the main set. This is part of an experience tailored for new players.
Right. I mean, there's a couple of cards that overlap, but like there's nothing like foundational about it. The main idea is like these are the cards that are good for teaching and learning, and then those are here, and then the cards that are fun to play with or or whatever, those are the main set.
Okay. All right. Do you want to talk us through some of the cards that we are going to see in the beginner box here? We don't spend too long on them. They are classics in many ways.
Right.
Just to give us a bit of a taste of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, so like, we start with a lot. It's like, okay, here's a cat stack. You're going to be playing this a vampire stack. And again, we're going. Can people make some noise? We're going to use some analysis to just sort of be like, hey, here's a pretty clean creature. That's also, by the way, an actual real Magic card that have been played with seriously over the years. You use those to teach people what's up, and then have them play against Johnny will be on our offering kind of like color commentary on your game. As you can imagine, Johnny's a little bit more supportive than Liliana, and have those sort of plays.
And we've got, so there are some images of the cat cards that people can see, but I think we've also got some pictures of some of the vampire
cards. That's all I showed so
well.
far, but...
yeah, so you start with this deck, you're playing as the vampire deck, that's great. Again, this is the sort of like guided experience that you're maybe familiar with from other starter box games. The other thing that the beginner box has is like, one of the problems that a lot of those starter kits had was you finish playing your first game, and you're like, okay, cool, I have starter deck A and starter deck B. What should I do next? Oh, I guess I'll play again. Oh, I guess I'll play again. And it's like, well, you know, like the fun thing about Magic is playing with different cards and different decks and so on and so forth.
Hey, what's up, 570? Ben's in the loop again.
And then there's 8 other jumpstart.
Can't really talk, guys.
So you can mix and match. It's like, oh, I'm gonna start out.
It sucks. Can't get the angle on this thing, man.
You know,
Here we go. Angels, Pirates.
I want to try out red and green cards on the same deck, and there's a lot of opportunity to sort of bring that together in a jumpstart-like experience and get people into the game. And also, by the way, like if you're using this to teach your friends,
you haven't been scrolled
it's
yet.
much more fun to teach them with like these jumpstart decks than with again the starter decks over and over again.
Yeah, for sure. It gives players an opportunity to mix and match, have a different experience instead of just jamming the same blue-white deck against the same red-white deck that you want to see intro packs.
Right. It's like, oh, well, you know, I want to try different kinds of blue decks, like Pirates versus Wizards. You know, and then again, try all the different colors. I should emphasize, so there's a full jumpstart release with Foundations.
Yes.
Foundations jumpstart. And so that's like a full
I have to
jumpstart.
hold it.
Jumpstart.
Yeah, but the problem is I can't get a straight angle. So
They're just.
I know homie's been from Mad TV or Mad Magic TV. I link up right now too, and everyone's trying to call me on Philly. Brad, I can't answer.
I seen your messages and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta go. DJ needs us.
Yeah, dude.
Set you to understand. Oh, like you get to put an
We were at Schuler's booth.
You what?
We were at Schuler's booth.
Oh, nice.
Get my tutor signed.
Yes. Hey, like one day you're gonna want to build your own deck, and these are the kinds of things that can become exciting.
And it looks like we've got some of these cards here that are appearing in some of these themed decks. It looks like there's a very strong identity to these jumpstart themes. Right. What do we call them? The starter decks or whatever you want to call them. Cards like Elvish Archdruid. Like that's
That's what I mean. I gotta hold this thing.
It gives you a very clear picture of like what the deck is.
Brad.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these are
there we go.
The idea of we want to expose people kind of like the base level of what Magic is about. So like, hey, the red deck like has dragons and it has cards that care about dragons. The green deck has elves, cards that are good with elves.
Dude, the Llanowar elf.
You know,
Oh my
Pirates and Wizards
god.
are up to like magical stuff.
You saw it?
And then again, like this is really popular to create
All
players.
anime
Very
and,
exciting for them to, like, get paid to
blinged
do the
out.
thing that they're
So
naturally
sick.
gravitating towards. And you know, like a Giant's Pride is actually a very strong card for beginning on this. So yeah, like we're not gonna.
So, Carmen, I want to bring it to you now and talk about the next step after the beginner box, right? Because I went through this phase. I'm sure everyone out here in the audience went through the phase of like I was borrowing cards with people. I was like playing with other people. I was like, I'm not a Magic player. I'm someone who plays Magic, but I'm not a Magic player. But I knew it was coming. I knew the moment was coming. And at one point, 2012, I was like, no, I'm going to make the next step. I'm going to start like my own collection.
Right.
And there's an element of this you said, Carmen, you can tell us about the starter collection that is designed to do exactly that, start someone's collection as they become a Magic player, capital M, capital P.
Yeah, definitely. So the starter collection, in a lot of ways, is a ton of cards. We're just throwing a ton of stuff at you. There's a bunch of rares. There's a lot of really cool stuff. We're going to talk about some specific cards later on, but big picture, I think something that a lot of us went through at the beginning of our Magic journey was we all had the Queen of the Anime Club or an older brother or something like that who just shoved a shoebox at you and like, figure it out.
Yeah.
Just build a deck out of this, and we all had some card or something, maybe an interaction that we built a deck around that we fell in love with, and that's how
we missed what she's
we
talking
made
about.
it here.
What's that?
Right?
We missed what she's talking about, because we were the OGs.
Yeah, right.
And it just dominoed from there. And I really wanted to put a lot of work into trying to capture things that just felt like you were going through the ultimate shoebox.
So this idea of having a shoebox sort of
It's idea.
pre-built for you, right? Like an ultimate shoebox.
You heard it here first. It's not idea, it's idea.
Explore, find new angles or elements of deck building that you want to take further. It's something that can accelerate your career of becoming an actual, real Magic player, real Magic fan. But my question for you is, how do you decide which card fits in the ultimate shoebox?
So one of the jokes that goes around the office a lot is that I know every Magic card, which is not entirely true, but I probably know like 80% of them or something. Like,
It's basically true.
it's true adjacent, and so even on Modern Horizons 3 was a set I worked on, where like callbacks were kind of the thing that everyone came to me for. So
You don't got an S cable,
I
do you?
have a lot of space building a bunch of cards, and a lot of cube curation for Magic Online and the like, and kind of have an idea of how to treat cards as puzzle pieces to put them together. And there were a few different things that I wanted cards to accomplish while they're in this. So tournament symbols are just sort of the first thing that I really want to focus on, because I think I crap that a lot of new player products fell into early on, as they kind of gave you diet magic. Almost right, where you kind of get to maybe get some intro to that card that you fall in love with, but then you go to the card store and the person behind the counter pats you on the head and goes, great, it's time to learn about real magic cards now.
And this is what I want to bring up. When we were looking through some of the cards we're going to preview in this panel, I was surprised to see top tier, like high caliber tournament staples. This isn't training wheel magic. This isn't baby's first magic set. These are cards that you can take to the Pro Tour, really. Right. Like, we're talking about cards like Maelstrom Pulse, we're talking about cards like BrianGilesMTG. These are cards that have had
hey now.
in construction, and they're not the only ones either.
Right, yeah. These are all things where I really want the old heads at the store to just go, oh yeah. Oh, I played Maelstrom Pulse. That takes me back. Darksteel Colossus is one where that was the first card I ever saw them.
Oh, come on, guys.
I don't know. Yes, that was one where
try over
I saw
there.
somebody's mind and thought, oh my god, I don't know how to go the deck out of this, but I have to. I'm going to clobber them with this, and it feels so sweet. And I really want players to be able to thumb through this, and no matter what kind of Magic player they might be, they're going to have something to fall in love with. It's going to actually be a really cool thing that they can take with them wherever they want to go in Magic. Oh, Ball Lightning is just a class. I mean, old Magic players love to just say, Ball Lightning.
They don't understand.
No.
So I'm excited to see Gilded Lotus here. One of my favorite mana racks. I think it's a little underrated these days.
It doesn't get the respect it deserves.
Yeah, it's got a scary 5 mana cost, but it's a 2 mana spell you can cast on turn 5. That's how you gotta look at it.
It's like it's almost like it's so ubiquitous, it almost just like everyone kind of expects it. But like the first time I ever saw it, I was just like,
after
yeah,
this,
Black Lotus every turn.
I'm good. I can do whatever. So I'll reach out to Craig. Call homie back, sounds rude.
Trying to make sure that players are getting ready to be able to play whatever kind of Magic they want.
I don't know, man, but I need to get like batteries soon. My phone's gonna die.
You are someone who happens to actually like playing with the broken parts of Magic. So we want to move on to the next play. You can actually
There you go. Oh, demonic pack, nice.
You read a card like Harmless Offering, and you go, what?
Why would I ever cast this?
Why did they even make this? But then later you're thumbing through and you go, oh, demonic pack. Okay, cool.
Very nice.
Ooh. Wait, hold on a second. And then you thumb through and you go, oh, I can do something.
Yeah, back in
with this. And I
Shadows and Eldritch Moon, I lost the tournament to that combo.
Oh, man.
I really want to give players the tools to learn things on their own. Like, I think for a lot of us, it's just really engaging. It's fun to build your own decks and learn things about the game as you play it.
Well, something that really appealed to me, Carmen, and I know as well, was probably a very big part of this, because your background as a competitive player. My background, customer Pro Tour, all of that sort of stuff. I look at this through the lens of a competitive player. I like catching clients, I play a lot of Commander, but like competitive Magic, I think, is where the game, for me, resonates the most. And one thing I was really excited to see was that there is a very real on-ramp to playing competitive Magic with Foundations, because of the nature of some of the cards that are put here. Sideboard staples. Cards that players will learn, oh, I don't want to play this all the time, but when it's good, it's really, really good. We can bring up some of these disruptive, sort of more sideboard focused cards that people are looking to play here, but these are the nuts and bolts of competitive spiky Magic, and I'm so pleased to be seeing.
Okay, more previews, guys. Here we go.
One of my favorite cards.
I mean, it's one of the things, right? You're traveling to a Magic event, and it was always like a fun card topic, even before I worked in Wizards. Where you're like, oh, what cards should be legal forever? What should they always make sure is around? Like the rest, negate. These are things that got reprinted like every few sets because they are just sort of the fundamental building blocks of how Magic is played for a lot of people. And one of the things that the starter collection is doing is it's contributing to standard legality in this sort of sense and expectation. Hey, if I go down to my LGS and I want to play F&M, these are the kinds of cards I can expect to play with, and if I get tired of losing to my friend's corny cat pack deck, I can disenchant something, right?
We can bring up. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh no. I was just thinking there was cat shit I could handle.
Yes, yeah. We're gonna. But this set gives us the tools that we need in order to deal with whatever our opponents may be throwing at us, and also gives us a sense of like, oh, these tools are going to be available to us for quite a long time, for years. You know, you can settle into the sideboard with cards like JuggaloKev, whatever else, and be confident that they're going to stick around. There are other cards as well, Cameron, that we can talk about that are even more specifically designed to take down certain decks or strategies.
Yeah, so we have these color hosers, which are maybe, they're not quite as pointed as something like SolarGod Lantern or Sorcerer's Spyglass that we saw in the previous slide, but these are the things for when you're tired of losing to your buddy's mono black deck. That's something that we've all been through at some point. I think these sort of color-specific hosers are things that all of us have played at some point, and it is a really good way of kind of giving you that middle ground to, I haven't quite figured out how to sideboard yet, but I know that's where I'm supposed to bring in Deathmark, right?
Yeah. You give very clear indications of when that should be happening. It reminds me of personally the on-ramp that I had to Magic was I played with 4 other friends, and we all had a colour. And I was blue, and PJ played white, Ben played black, and Alec played red.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the other guy's name, but he played green. But so having these guys like, oh yeah, I'm going to bring in Deathmark, and I'm going to make them, life hell for my opponent. These are, again, there's an educational aspect to it that I think is something that is also really drawn down on when it comes to what we want to talk about next. Something that we see in high-level sets now in the draft that goes on at LGSs, at regional championships, even Pro Tours. We see signpost cards.
Yes.
We see multi-color cards, golden cards that give you an indication, oh, this is what I want to be doing in this color pair. And this also gives you foundations.
Right, exactly. And there are a bunch of multi-color cards that kind of give you an idea of what it is this color pair is going to be about.
I haven't been able to get any pins yet.
Yeah, I ain't seen any. I seen where he got that one, but they're for buying, or you can trade a Magic pin for a Magic pin. That's down there.
That's fine. That's
Close to the stairwell.
Put this in your mono blue deck.
But I hadn't seen any employees with any pins they would trade.
You kind of know you want to be playing during your opponent's turn, instant cards, stuff like that.
Oh, sorry guys.
You're laying the beat down. We've all played against the blue deck that's just like, alright, I'm going to play big knucklehead. Space is the place, I'll see you in the combat step, you know?
Yeah, and these cards give you that very clear indication. I'm not surprised by this, but it is a little sad that there wasn't a big raucous round of applause for the fact that Mystical Teachings is going to be legal in standard for the next There are dozens of us. Dozens, I say. So I'm very, very excited to see this.
There's one more thing, come on, trust me, it's fine. So anyway, if it blows up, my bad.
I can't wait for it. It is the card that just does nothing and does more nothing and more nothing and more nothing until you're sitting there with 9 cards in hand and board's empty and you're like, I'll win this game in my own time. Thank you very much. But this brings us to another aspect of Magic that is a very, very, very important part of playing games. Usually the first action we take as the game begins, and that is playing a land. And there's some lands that I know many people would be happy to see back in standard. Many people
Scry lands.
All the way back in the original Theros, and they're here to stay now. The foundations around
Big man.
Right, but you can get all kinds of culture in the starter collection every time. This is just kind of saying, hey, the lands are good. I know if you know all of us are newer, we kind of just expect our mana to learn.
Not even new art.
Right? So this is getting that little bit of scry on there. Hey, you probably want to try playing with this a little bit. So it's good and directional when you're newer, but even as you start to make that transition towards your games, or playing with other people, you're playing with real cards. They're Murmur's here. These are sweet cards that have turned and pedigree to do that. I feel like a broken record saying these are real cards. Go ahead.
Their proven track record speaks for itself. These temples were top-tier competitive playables, and coming to LGS as part of that on-ramp playing, in the bigger leagues, you're not going to feel totally outclassed by the people who are playing this. That's really
Oh, 90, bring it, bruh.
It's fun to play with. It's so satisfying. Like, come on.
Get up there, give him the bra Bram.
You know how bad this game is, one of those? If it's not.
Bra.
What are we doing with the mana though? Is the question. Alright, got any of these?
Yeah, well, this next card I think is particularly exciting.
All right, our previews. Let's go.
With the classic 7th, 8th edition starter kits, a signature thing was you would always get a cool green promo, like rocks or Foreign Elemental.
What did he say?
Yeah, everyone loves Elvis
Something about a
Champion.
Foreign Elemental.
So,
Oh, I thought he put a P in
here.
there.
While also introducing people to the concept of booster fun, like Magic cards can look different and be exciting. So we have the coolest creature that you can cast.
Is
for
it
5
the
mana.
7? Oh, 5 man. Okay, it's not the 7/7.
It's a Gigasaurus.
Hey.
Now, I'm very,
I like the
I'm
art.
very concerned about this. The creative team, I think,
It's a vanilla 10. Ooh.
we get these full art Texas
Right.
promos, right? There's a particular man way back when, there was some more recent news of Saga. This is a set that is aimed at you.
The art's cool, though.
I'm expecting them to remember the rules
Yeah, I
text
want one.
of Gigantosaurus if it's being printed in a full art Texas promo, alright?
I understand your concern here. I think it's really valid.
I think we're missing out on all the text on that card.
That's it. Toss at the top, business end at the bottom.
And that's it. That's it. It's probably the most appropriate full art Texas promo we've ever seen.
Right, it actually is. They're right, they're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, finally a card that makes sense for full art because there's no text.
Ultimate shoebox. Ari, I want to bring you in here to talk about the main foundation set itself. This is a regular set in the sense that it's coming out in boosters. Draft these boosters. It's sort of a much more...
No, they have to buy like a box and you get it.
With regular Magic sets. But tell us about the goals of Foundation. Tell us about what this set is able to achieve.
Sure, yeah. So the base concept behind Foundations is we want to answer the question, what if we made a set called Magic the Gathering? And I like to think that we've answered that here. Another concept that we threw around a lot in development is, quote unquote, the implication of tantalizing depth, which is to say that each card should be a window into another part of Magic that's either shows you something very exciting for a new player or reminds you of something you really love as an experienced player. There's a lot of stuff in here. Like, this is a set for new players, but there's nothing, like, pushed down about it. This has all the fun, the charm, and the approachability of a full set. And I think we'll all find stuff that we're really stoked about here.
So,
I think his shirt's more interesting.
So that's the big picture, right? We're talking about a set that is attempting to kind of hook people, reel them in the same.
Are you
way
being
they
rude,
reel
Greg?
all of us in at some point or another. So that's good to hear.
Please be
Glad
rude.
We've got an on-ramp for our new players, but I know that there will be people out there who are wanting to see the cards themselves. Let's ease into it here, Ari. Let's ease into it here. Let's introduce the basic lands that we're going to see. And we'll start with the most basic of basic lands before we ramp up into more special basics and some of the implications of them. Go ahead.
There are some pretty special bases coming up. But just to start, there's 2 cycles of regular basic lands.
They've been around forever.
And,
No new
for
art.
this first cycle, the art director, Don Muir, and myself, we looked through
Well, I guess some of them
single
are.
basic land that has ever been printed in the history of Magic the Gathering. And we picked out the ones that we felt were superlatives. This is the plainsiest plains, the islandiest island, the swampiest swamp, etc. Just really exciting pieces that feed the imagination. And for the next set, however,
basic
how do you hook a new player into Magic the Gathering? How did I get hooked into Magic the Gathering? Well, there is Rebecca Gay.
Oh wow.
These are
Shout out to the audience. That's the correct answer.
These are nice.
They're the sorts of things that do capture the imagination of certain players,
Right.
and they're here now in Foundations. So,
Those are
so
nice.
these ones now, these are going to be part of the regular basics that are going to be in Foundations packs.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, but they're not the only ones
That's true. There is also 2 cycles of full art lands coming up. So Foundations has 10 quote-unquote main characters, 5 planeswalkers, and 5 legends that you can kind of get to know and grow attached to. And the current plan is for all 10 of these characters to appear in each of the upcoming sets coming out. So you see them in Foundations, and you will soon see them in another main set.
Here
Start
we
off
go.
on the planes. We have
That's
Johnny
nice.
here on Pharaohs.
Sorry.
And we have Giada on New Capenna.
Nice.
For the islands.
I have a Johnny.
We've got Simone on Strixhaven and Kaito having a soak on a County Gallery top.
That's nice.
Looking good. For Swamp, we have Liliana on Innocent.
Oh, that's sick.
Sorry, we had a guy.
I need some.
Where's the second?
Do we?
There was a second one.
There it is. Alright, we'll figure that out.
I definitely put 2 in the presentation.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah,
So that means it's
Liliana on the swamp, sorry.
we have a guy on it.
I just don't know where to stole it. Alright, let's move on. Mountains. We have Chandra here in the mountains of Kaladesh. And we have Kellen running through Thunder Junction. And then finally for the forest, we've got Luke climbing a tree on Amonkhet and Vivian in the forests of Ikoria. So you're going to see all, I guess,
Nice.
9 plus 1 of these characters.
But who could that last character be?
I heard they caught him.
They've caught him. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Who is the missing black character?
Yeah, okay, we got it.
Who is the missing Black Mana character? Let's see if we can find out who it is.
Oh, Tiny Bug.
That's right.
No wonder this one went missing. He's gone and pilfered it. He's burgled it.
It's a little scamping around.
So these are, again, this is a way to sort of enfranchise new Magic players with established Magic players through these characters that we all know and love so much.
Nice.
But, Carmen, we've gone back a lot further than that with some of the reprints that are appearing in,
I hope it's soon.
in Foundations.
My phone's almost
How far
dead.
back have we gone?
All the way to Alpha. So
As far back
that
as
mission
possible to
statement
go.
before. One more time.
As far back as it's possible. to
Yeah,
go.
literally. So the first set that was basically called Magic the Gathering, right? That is what we're trying to do again now. We come through all of Alpha and wanted to find as many cards as we could that we're able to pull forward and still get kind of hang today and have a pretty good time with. And we want to make sure this isn't just a new player set. This is a fun set that the old heads are gonna exploit to. Obviously I'm biased, I just don't on the stage right now, but I genuinely had a lot of fun playing with this. We're just gonna even slam people with Juggernaut again, you know?
Yeah, these are just iconic
Man,
pieces
that
of
glare,
Magic's
bro.
history. These are touchstone cards, right, that we talk about.
Focus.
Yeah, it's just part of Magic's vernacular and the Heroic Foundations as well. But there are also some very exciting old reprints as well. We're going to come to some new cards very shortly, but Carmen, one final stop here at some old fan favorites.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of top-down reprints that I like to say they do what they say on the tin, right? We think, we want to teach Magic players or new Magic players about expression through Magic cards.
Was it time walk or time stop?
Again, I get it.
You have was it time stop or
No,
time
the
walk?
time stop. End the turn. Oh my god, a Magic card can do that?
Wow.
And just trying to have those sort of exciting moments where you learn how to sort of
I
express
love that
things that
card.
aren't just pieces of
It's an
cardboard
instant.
with cardboard and make them
Yeah.
exciting. It's sort of
That means you're not doing nothing else.
that we try to
You're
prioritize
through.
whenever we work on a
You're probably
We've got some
only
others
gonna
as
be
well
able to get
to have a look at here. Some really huge cards in every sense that are coming back here. Max, have you got some thoughts, the cards we're seeing here?
protection from everything.
So there are people who also Magic and we're
Protection
now like
from
Magic
everything?
Silent Generation. And so like, Forgiveness is actually now from the old days, which is horrifying. But even when Forgiveness came out, like at that time,
Protection
it was
from
already
everything?
and you had to accumulate
Yeah, I'd still make you
protection
sack
from
it.
everything, something that can be done on a Magic.
Like Carmen said, you could do this. Yeah.
What's that even mean?
It means it has protection for everything.
Which,
Well, you can't do that. Whatever you're thinking of, you can't do it. Yeah. So I got natural order, and then
I can't wait. This is over.
I'm proud of you for that.
yeah, it's a good thing.
Oh, you got that piece? Okay, cool. Can you get that pen?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Genesis is great. It's not their blood sheep again. Like, just hit people with your vampires. Your vampires are bigger. Hit them again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a card that sort of teaches you a little lesson.
Get on.
Speaking of
It's
these
all
short
fun and
lessons,
games until I
my
got
friends
Gray
out
back
there in
on
the
the board and I
audience,
started sacking
you're
my
going to be
shit.
taught a very, very sharp lesson. If you thought that you were safe
Oh god, come on,
on
get to
exactly
it. Stop the hype. My
10
phone's
life
almost
at
done.
any point against anyone with mountains in their deck. Ari, you want to tell us about another classic Magic card that is going to end games a lot faster than people thought?
Yeah, of course. Let's take a look at Hidden Stickers second right.
It's back!
It's back.
It's
It's got
back.
brand new
Wow.
art. We get to see a new take on classic Hidden Sugu. And there's a lot of
That's
little
nasty.
things in the art, like there's 10 candles, representing 10 damage, a lot of fun stuff.
that
And
needs
it's
to
an
go in that
uncommon
burn
now,
deck.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna lose a lot of games to this.
Oh,
It's
you're
gonna be
too
one of those things like you think you say 10 on 10 on 10 on.
No, that happened. I assure you this came up and played tested.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Someone attacking, oh god, I want to put a 9 and 16 actually.
Yeah. It'll get you, so be ready for that. But also, I imagine you're now ready to see some of the brand new cards. And we're not pulling out punches, we're going to
my
start Ari
God,
with some
please.
high level, hugely powerful, mythic rares. Some of the iconic creature types.
Yeah,
People
that's it.
love to play with your magic.
Yeah, we want to be introducing players to the big splashy creature types that everybody loves. Like, I don't know, dragons?
We got some dragon fans out here. Let's have a look at a dragon here. We've got Twin Flame Tyrants.
This dragon's got twice as much dragon per dragon as your average dragon.
Nice.
These are, this is a classic effect, you damage doubler.
Nice.
And now it appears on a huge flying dragon, so something for us all to either look forward to or live in very deep fear of. But not the only iconic creature type we're showing off here, Max. No, that should be enough.
That is
They're
crazy.
Well, I think we're going to vampire first.
Are there angel fans? Good, because we've got a vampire to show you. Got him. We got him. So, like, one of the things I actually love doing with these science is taking all the genetics that were like the old and just putting creatures. So, turning,
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Exquisite Blood
It's
into
pretty dang good.
a vampire. Like, both makes it more exciting in itself, and also
That's
gives you a
nasty.
fun one currently.
Yeah.
So it's actually more fun.
Flying
for
and
both
as
players,
such.
and also is
Don't buy it.
It means you can
and I'm
use
sure
instincts
eagle-eyed
in that.
viewers out there have already noticed
You can use
the
instincts
very
in
neat
that.
little Easter egg in the flavor text of the card. This town swims with such exquisite blood. Very, very good. Anyway, Carmen, the fans of Angels in the audience.
Good news, bad news. Good news, bad news, you might have already seen this card. Good news, it rocks. It's one of my favorite cards in the set. I think it's my favorite new card. This is the Herald of Eternal Dawn. Platinum
Oh, there you
Eagle
go,
was one of
pause.
the first cards that I ever saw that gave me that, oh my god, a Magic card can do that. How do you even do that? And this is one that we've showcased it twice today because it's been
Hey, there you go,
really
Mr.
awesome
Guy,
and
too.
fantastic, and I
Yeah.
really
Mr.
love
Guy
it.
likes
If
white.
you're an Angel fan,
I think it's
this is
too
a card
cheap.
that you are really
How does that work? It's
And we've got some familiar faces, but returning in all
honestly,
new
it should be
forms.
like 8 or 10.
Yeah, no, the legends in this
I got
set
enchantments
all
to do that for
come
less.
from Magic somewhere. You've seen them before, or you've read about them in the story. They're all existing characters that you can research about and learn more and discover new things. For instance,
It's amazing.
We have a new version of Niv Mizzet. Sure. Tell us about a little bit about these cards, Ari.
oh, absolutely. So, yeah, we all know Niv. There's been a few Nivs out there. This one, Niv's as hard as the rest of them. It's very cool. We have a Rabo being printed in a main set for the very first time, previously only seen as the face commander of the Cat Commander deck from several years ago. Now there's a newer Rabo, which is very cool. And then we have Zul Asher.
Hey, buddy.
Wow.
Zul Asher, and I say,
Give him some space.
you should read more M12 flavor text.
So let's just Go ahead.
Alright, so both SolarGod and Investable also are doing something that we're trying to hit on a lot in this set. These are things that are true to the character, but they're open-ended and they sort of inspire you to build a certain kind of deck. And that means that new players are going to see Investable for the first time. And they're going to kind of have an idea of what it's about. But those old players are still going to go, oh, okay, that's still like it's a new Investable. We all know what it's about. And creating that connection that bridge the divide between new Magic players, just
My card for my red, blue, white deck, you have no hand size.
Also
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
right.
Yeah,
Pretty
this
good.
is an every egotist naturally goes infinite with himself.
He hires his most trusted advisor. Give visit, exactly. Yeah. So while you won't see this put it in Foundations, this would be a great way to pair up an old classic with a brand new version of the same card. One day, soon, we will be able to build command decks that are just visit.
We can only hope. But
Yeah, it's going to be Command Tower, Sol Ring, a bunch of lands, and then just like 60 new visits.
exactly.
And a good visit to you.
Something really important to call out here, though, as you can see, this is pre-guild-packed visit. This set is timeline agnostic.
I want one too. It's good for my deck.
So you
It
will
comes
see
in
characters who have
pints.
changed. You'll see characters who have
It's good
died.
for my deck.
You'll just see different takes, and they're all just meant to be gateways to existing stories and future things as well.
Speaking of gateways, why don't we take a walk through the omen paths now to across the multiverse to all the different planes that we're going to be showing off in this set.
Oh, there's that elemental hydra
representing the multiverse, as you say, the timeline agnostic manner. We're representing it in all sorts of different ways through some of these big cards that are appearing in Foundations.
Yeah, no, it was very important to us to represent as many planes as we possibly could. So we actually made a very fancy spreadsheet and tracked down all our planes, the percentage representation and stuff, and we ended up with a place I think everyone will be really excited about. With these 4 new cards alone, you're seeing Ikoria, you're seeing Valheim, you're seeing Kamigawa, and you're seeing Zendikar, and you're seeing mechanics that are representative of stuff that we find there, right, Carmen?
Right, and a lot of these mechanics were things that I was very staunch about early on that I wanted to help Magic players reinforce good habits by the cards kind of reinforcing muscle memory. And Raid is an example of one that in the very first meeting I went to Brian Misselli and I said a very positive Raid needs to be in this set. He went, okay, you know what, I'll hear you out. Why? I'm going to tell you.
They could have put bad
one,
things
you
on
should be
both
attacking
sides.
more. You should be coached by a professional Magic player.
Monstrous Hydra is a 0/0.
It also teaches you to cast your creatures.
Alright,
in
this is
the
how long
second
this
phase,
panel's
so
supposed to
you
be.
can predict your
I'm
combat
worried about my
check, whatever
phone.
it is.
Damn.
It just helps reinforce those good
Is it,
fundamentals.
is it in the app?
So that
Should
whenever
be,
you go to
yeah,
FNM for the
I can't
first
look
time,
right now.
you
Yeah,
decide
I
you want
got
to have an RCQ, whatever it is, you're more likely and better set up to be able to hang with people who've been going through these things for years.
I think it's a good point because it's one of the things you have to learn. You can play an instant in your opponent's end step, and you don't have to main phase a Titanic Growth, for instance. And
When
you know,
did this
while
one
I'm still
start?
very guilty, particularly on Arena, because I don't want to have to
1:30?
just like, teaching
Time was it now?
sort of the identities of certain strategies or cards, even something like Noston Hydra with Landfall, making a strong thematic and mechanic connection between the plane of Zendikar, having new creatures, and lands
I don't
in
know, I don't
development
see it.
having an effect. It's sort of something that
That's
we all
where
understand.
Stefan's at right now.
Yeah, and also just like putting enough lands in your deck, you can trigger all your landfall. Which also secretly means you put enough lands in your deck, you can actually cast as your spell.
By magic, yeah.
People aren't necessarily good at it.
Oh yeah.
We've all had some 18 land, 80 card monstrosity at some point where it's like, listen, this Akroma's going to get on the battlefield if I have to take 80 turns. I don't know.
Frequently you do. I'll get it on myself and call it good. Fine.
That literally, I'm always saying this.
Yeah.
That's
Next,
that.
I want to come back to you now to talk about one of the other things that's covered off.
Well, look after one.
We've already talked about.
So they started at like 2, 2:30.
We're going to be able to draft it, right? It's a draftable set. But there's a product line, I guess, that is coming back with Foundations. It's designed for those moments where maybe you don't have 8 people. Maybe you don't have an entire evening to set aside play limited
Right
Magic.
there.
Foundations are still got
So 20 more
Yeah,
minutes.
so
Oh,
Foundations
God,
has a
dude.
full jumpstart release.
Yes.
So jumpstart is you take So Jumpstart packs have 20 cards in them. Every pack has a theme. Some of the themes we showed earlier, like there's elves, or something that's more wacky. There's like Blank of the Coast, or Scary, or
I'm finna have to go hit the bathroom, bro.
any 2 Jumpstart packs makes it happen. So, like, you know, everyone works. Like, hey, we want to battle. There's no time to steal back. There's no time to do anything else. We sub 2 Jumpstart packs, shuffle them together to play, and off to the races. And then, like, the other thing that's really good for is,
We going to battle?
No, I'm going to the bathroom.
we're newer,
And then we'll go from there.
Shit, I'm losing battery. Great.
like very hard.
They don't have a charger, so I'm gonna try to find a charger system thing. So
But for a lot of people,
this has got another 20 minutes on it. Oh, thank you, bro.
figure out what you can get there. Yeah. But like again, the biggest part about Magic is playing with new decks in new ways, and so Jumpstart gives you a new deck, a new building, a new experience without having to go through all the hoops of having to build the deck yourself. Something you actually need to go and drop the races.
And before we move on to our next phase here, I know that here at MagicCon, we're talking to highly enfranchised players. We're talking to people who are deeply invested in the game, and you're looking at this and you're thinking, well, you know, this is nice, it's fine, but it's not for me. But the thing I want to point out to you here is like, if you've had that friend who has always been like, nah, I'm not, like, it's cool that you're into Magic, but like, it's not my thing, right? I'm not going to get it. This is that on-ramp for them. Right. This is the way that you trick them into playing this game. Get the all-star packs and
This is a full Jumpstart too, right?
yeah.
And you know, between me and 1,000 of my favorite
Of our
people,
closest friends.
the distributors actually got us some of this a little bit early, and I was able to talk on a certain executive producer and let me slip a couple boxes of it in my bag. So if you run into me this weekend, maybe you want to see some new cards, I would love to grab a game.
Very nice. All right. Okay. There you go. Excited about that. All right. Let's talk collection. Let's talk about what this set offers for the collector. Because Magic is a game that we all like to play, but for many people, it's a trading card game. It's a collectible card game. It's a game that people interact with in many different ways. So, what does Foundations have to offer for the collector?
Well, like many sets, they will have collector boosters, which are very exciting here. We wanted to introduce the idea of Magic of Collectibles to new people. So the collectability treatments in this set are less complicated than some we've seen in the past, and are really straightforward and exciting and beautiful. For instance,
I believe that we've got borderless cards to show you here. So these are some cards we've already talked about throughout this project. Ari, you brought up an interesting point.
yeah, no,
About the borderless cards. I was this will blow your mind. This fact that Ari brought up, this is quite incredible.
So I was running the I was working late one night, like I was in the office, I was alone, the lights were off, and I was running the numbers, and I realized that this set has about 70 borderless cards in it, which is almost 70 more borderless cards than were in alpha, which is crazy.
Wow. Yeah. And that took you a long time to figure out, huh?
It did. I only have 10 fingers, so
You take your shoes off using your toes. Yeah, I get it.
I was alone in the office. So.
But yes, as you said, 70 borderless cards. But we've also got a special treatment here. I believe we can show you the mana foil here. So do you want to tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, so this is similar to the Step and Complete foil that was in all of V1, but obviously it's full color. And so we have the step and repeat pattern of all the mana symbols, and it looks so good.
Does not do it justice.
Yeah.
You know, I like to make
This is the implication of tantalizing depth of what this booster fund looks like.
And we've also got some treatments of certain cards that people may find familiar. But again, this is a way of tying in Magic's history and helping the players become accustomed or sort of bought into the culture of the game.
Right, so we do have special guests in this set because Foundations is a real Magic set. This is something where we want Magic players to feel like that they aren't getting the diet version of Magic, but it's in these packs. So you can see temporal manipulation, given the same treatment that you saw on Neo Kamigawa, Embercleave getting the Enchanted Tails frame. These are cards that are super iconic and super sick. We really want players to feel like they're not getting put at the kids' table at Thanksgiving or something like that. And we really, I think we came out with a lot of these special guests that you'll find.
That reflect, again, iconic either cards or planes or just, one thing that really stands out to me that we've seen from Foundation so far is that it's not just an honor for people who learn how to play the game, but it's an honor for people who become invested and become a part of Magic's history and a part of Magic's culture. And I think that's really important. We've got a couple of other special treatments. Ari, the Japan showcase, maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, like many recent sets. Second to look at those. Like many recent sets, we have 10 Japan Showcase cards, so this is just half of them. They're all available in regular treatment and the fractured foil treatment. And these are really expensive.
I really dropped my laptop when I saw the Progenitus.
I know, it was really cool.
That camera's not catching much either, bro.
That Twin Flame Tyrant is like, I'm going to need a full playset of that, please.
And finally, Max, there are some promos that people get their hands on. Buy box bundle promos.
That's right. So, as Memory said, go to your local store, buy a box, it's also buy a bundle, differentiate arena. The arena is called the bundle. The simulacra area, you'll get while supplies last your local store, you buy a display of any type.
Another reprint. Ouch.
I'm really looking forward to this set. I really am. I remember the days of playing my 67 card, blue, black, terrible infect deck. I took it into the LGS, D behind the camera was like, oh, maybe you want to make some cards. I was like, no, it's perfect deck.
With 18 lands as discussed.
That's right. Why would I play more? I don't need it anymore. No, it's fine. This set harkens back to some of those memories, those thoughts, those feelings. I can't wait to play with newer players who are going through that the first time, you know, sort of having their magic experience there on ramp. So I want to thank the three of you for taking the time out to talk to us about this set as a whole. Will you please join me in thanking our three guests up here on the stage? It's been terrific to have our company, Arnold, Max, and Carmen. So, for anyone who would like to make it to start with Magic Foundations is here, and in the lead up to this set, we were able to have
Oh, yeah.
some of the marketing, promotional stuff that was coming out, some of the videos that were made were a little silly, so as we make our way off stage now, we're going to share one of these ads that we've seen for Magic Foundations. But once again, thanks for being here, thanks for your attention. Stick around, Game Night's Live coming back later on. But after the entire panel on the stage, thanks for being part of the Foundation for the panel. Please enjoy this ad for Magic Foundations.
Okay, I gotta end this. Thanks everyone for watching. Gotta cut this because my phone's dying. So we'll catch you guys later.